Welcome, College of Eastern Idaho students, staff, and faculty and community members to our Falcon Features show, as Lori and I still always just call it Facebook Live, but I know it's on YouTube as well. Updates, our old show. Falcon Features, our old show. Okay. Anyway, we have some great updates today, and we have some really cool special guests. We've got Courtney Richert, one of our admissions counselors. And we've got Connor Sorensen, also an admissions counselor and recruiter as well. So, and they both do recruiting, and we'll talk about some of that, some of those changes today a little bit later on. So I'm very excited. And as always, I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Vice President Lori Barber, and I am Dean Mike Walker, Dean of Students here at College of Eastern Idaho. And Lori has an amazing quote for us today to start us off.
Welcome, everybody. It's great to be back with you for another edition of Updates, also known as Falcon Features. All right. Hi, Mike. Good to see you. I haven't seen you all morning. It's been a crazy day. So my quote of the day comes from Albert Einstein. All of us probably know who that is. So he said, quote, "The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking." And I love this quote. I love all of the quotes I use every week. Anyway, it's really true. If you want to change your life, if you want to change your world, the first thing you have to do is change yourself and change your thinking. It's really interesting. Studies show that 80% of our thoughts are negative. Can you imagine walking around kind of stewing in 80% negative thoughts all day long? And when we're having that many negative thoughts, it's really hard to create positive change. So I promise if you begin to catch those negative thoughts as they start to run across your brain and try to reframe them somehow in a positive light, you really can begin to change your life. So change your thoughts, you can change your life. That's what I say, Mike. Wow,
that's amazing. I do want to take a minute and actually recognize an achievement of yours, of your son's, actually.
Oh, gosh.
And so I'm going to just say it because I think it's really cool for our campus community to know, and also for you to kind of shine on about it and talk about it. So Lori Barber's son is in the process of completing a PhD right now at University of Massachusetts Amherst, their main flagship campus in Massachusetts. And he was just recently accepted for a postdoctoral fellowship at Harvard University. So do you want to tell the campus community about this, Lori?
Sure. I am just a little bit proud. And Mike, that's very sweet of you to bring that up. So yes, my son, he did his undergrad back east and then got a full ride fellowship to go to UMass Amherst to study in polymer science and engineering. It was on a program that was bachelor's to PhD, and he's been just really thinking about what he wants to do next. This opportunity came available, and it was competitive. There were a lot of people. It was competitive, but he just thought to himself, why not apply for it? Somebody's got to get it, and he ended up getting it. So he will be working in a group that is basically working on 3D printing of soft materials to be able to use for research. I mean, like printing organs and things like that, which is like future thinking. Anyway, so I am very, very proud. Thank you for mentioning that and letting me say that on Facebook Live, Mike.
Well, you're welcome, Lori, and thanks for having that. Well, we've got our first update is actually from you. We're going to talk about our good friend, COVID-19.
Oh, COVID. I've always got the COVID reminders. Okay. So this just
I write the agenda.
Right. So I always have to do reminders.
That was crazy.
So Mike, that's why you let me do something positive, like talk about my son. So
that's right.
All right. So the COVID reminders, remember, we are still a fully masked campus. So make sure you're wearing your Mike, I hear a lot of noise.
My camera is having a malfunction. I'm so sorry.
No, you are good. So be sure you're still wearing those masks. We have just about made it to the end of the semester. We're getting so close. So we're still physically distancing. We're still wearing masks. And we're always washing our hands like we were prior to COVID, right? So anyway, you can find COVID updates, what's going on around our campus with regard to COVID. You can go to the main page, and there is a link there. You can click on that link. And then, as always, report any COVID-related questions or concerns, including those positive tests, to the COVID email, which is covid@cei.edu.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about the distraction on the screen with my camera when it fell over. I don't know what happened. It's secured to it, but I just bumped it or something. That was really embarrassing. All right, so I have some really fun and exciting reminders. I chose to give these to myself.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
You're welcome a lot. Student Senate applications and elections are coming up. Watch your email for updates on applications for Student Senate and the elections, and it will go out today. April social media challenges are moving forward. We had our last one that ended last week, or I'm sorry, our first one that ended last week. So today we're drawing for the winner of the April 10th National Siblings Day Challenge that we had, and that will be drawn live on the CEI Student Life Facebook page during the beginning of Student Senate meeting at 4 p.m. today. So those who had the correct hashtag and entered the contest correctly will be eligible, and we will draw for 2 Lagoon tickets.
Woo!
It's kind of exciting.
That's really exciting.
This week's challenge, which has to be completed with the appropriate hashtags by April 16th, which is Friday, is National Stress Awareness Day. What's your favorite way to de-stress? Share your best way to decompress and relax by using the hashtag LessStressCEI on Facebook and Instagram. You'll be entered to win an Apple 4K TV. So Apple TV 4K, sorry, it's not a TV, it's a thing. I don't know, it's an Apple thing. Only one entry per student. Other challenges coming up on April 23rd. It'll be our Earth Day challenge. April Earth Day is actually the 22nd, but the CEI Science Club is doing a garbage cleanup day on the 23rd. And so that's when our activity is. So you have to complete the entry by that date. Watch your email for that information. We've already sent it out, but we'll send it out again. And then also there's going to be a challenge on April 29th for International Dance Day. Remember, there's only one entry per student, and you'll see your emails for rules and how to enter on social media.
Cool. Thanks, Mike. All right. Well, I get to give financial aid updates, and that's more fun than COVID updates anyway.
It's money. It's free
It
money.
is money. So I'm going to give financial aid updates. All right. So the FAFSA is open for fall 2021 and for spring 2022. Complete it now so you'll make sure you are ready for fall 21. It's also not too late to complete the FAFSA for summer 2021, and you're going to be using your 2018 income. Fill out the CEI summer application form once you have registered for summer classes to see your financial aid remaining eligibility. So be sure you remember that withdrawing from a class or a few classes can affect your satisfactory academic progress. So be sure that you're checking with the financial aid office before you drop classes to see how you will be affected. Let's see, withdrawing from all classes will cause a payback to your financial aid as well. So please contact, again, that financial aid office to discuss your options and potential payback. The last day to withdraw from late 8-week classes is April 16th. Scholarship information is available. You can call 208-535-5616, or you can go to the financial aid or foundation office. All right, this is, listen up to this one. So our Higher Education Emergency Relief Fund 2, or HERF 2, this provides emergency funding to institutions of higher education to assist students in need during the coronavirus pandemic. CEI has received funds and will be dispersing these funds to students in the next few weeks. So be sure you are watching your email, which means you need to be checking your email for further information. Check that email every single day. All right, Mike, back to you.
John reminded us of an important fact that I didn't put in the email, but I did send out an email to all students about it, and also staff and faculty. Mary Taylor sent out an email to you all about it, but there is asymptomatic COVID testing tomorrow on site. So just check your email for those details, but it will be happening on site tomorrow, and you can have that done. So that's a good idea.
Yeah, thanks, John.
So that's a great reminder. So I'm going to talk about some business office updates. So summer semester tuition and fees are due Friday, May 7th. payment plans are available. Direct deposit is available for refunds. You just sign up for e-refund, receive those refunds directly deposited into your checking or savings account. And if you have questions, you can contact the cashier at 208-524-3000, option 3, and they can answer any questions about your balance, payment plans, or an e-refund.
Awesome. So just a reminder that the Falcon Food Pantry will be open today from 12:30 to 1:30. If you're in need of any to-go food items for your home or family, or just household and hygiene items, please stop by. The Falcon Food Pantry is in Building 5, room 528, just inside entrance number 2 on the southeast side of Building 5. As always, if this time is not convenient, but you'd like to visit the pantry, please call the Center for New Directions at 208-535-5363, or you can just stop by Building 5, room 591, and they'll be happy to make an appointment that is convenient for you. Be sure you check that out.
Okay, I have a really long but great announcement from our Workforce Training and Continuing Education Department. The Cyber Course Summer Camp is designed to introduce high school students to the world of cyber physical computing systems that are all around us. This is done in the context of working with Raspberry Pi, personal computers, and laptops to discover issues of cybersecurity, system configuration, networking, programming, and circuit design. So if you know somebody that might be interested, this is really a great opportunity. Throughout the week, campers will have opportunities to discuss the ethical and legal issues of cybersecurity and explore career and education options with local guest speakers from research and industry. High school teachers attend the Cyber Course Summer Camp, July 19th to 22nd this year in Idaho Falls, as well as a pre-camp seminar to gather materials and teaching insights for incorporating computing into their existing curriculum. So you can contact the instructor for more information. That's Dr. Michael Haney, 208-533-8209, or mhaney@uidaho.edu. The cost per credit is $60 through the University of Idaho, and the links are on the screen for the intro camp and the advanced camp. So you can see them right there below if you're interested. Check it out. Okay, so we are now done with our updates, and we're very excited to introduce our two guests today, Courtney Richert and Connor Sorensen. So Courtney and Connor, they'll introduce themselves in their first question, but I'll do a quick, brief introduction. Courtney has been an admissions and advising counselor and academic advisor for several years here at College of Eastern Idaho. And Connor has actually worked here for almost a few years as well. He started off in recruitment, and now he's in our admissions office as we've combined them. So we're really excited to talk about kind of the heartbeat of what we do in student affairs really today, and how we're helping students and helping them be better. And they're both in their offices. So hopefully they can't hear me too much. I know these walls are very thin and they're super close by. Courtney used to be in the office right next to mine, but she's now across the hall. Anyway, we're so excited to have you here and to join us for our show today. So welcome.
Yeah, welcome, Courtney and Connor. Courtney, I used to be in the office that you're in. So it's a good office.
It is. All right. Well, first, Courtney, why don't we start with you? Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to work for College of Eastern Idaho and your background and all that jazz. Oh, we can't hear Courtney.
Yeah.
Okay, try it now. Say something.
Oh, uh-oh. Connor, let's see if we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Connor, why don't you do this question? And
let's do that.
Okay.
Courtney and I will go over to Courtney's office to see if I can help her figure that out while you guys are doing
Awesome. All right, Connor, so tell us a bit about yourself and how you came to work at College of Eastern Idaho.
Well, I am a local Idaho native. I'm from Aberdeen, Idaho, so representing the small town schools here in Idaho. Pretty awesome for that. I got my bachelor's degree locally. I went to Brigham Young University, Idaho, to get a bachelor's degree in microbiology. So mine has been a path that's not very traditional to come into education. And I ended up working for the Department of Health and Welfare for a little bit. I just was not enjoying the path I was doing and ended up seeing a position posted for an admin assistant.
It looks like the audio is working.
And made the switch and loved every minute of it.
But they can't seem to hear us. Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
we can hear you.
Okay, great. Okay, good. Same question for Courtney.
All right, Connor, thank you so much. Well, we are thrilled that you are working for us. And so now, Courtney, tell us how you came to work for us here at the college.
Yeah, so after high school, I attended my local community college. It was Treasure Valley Community College in Oregon. I got my degree and transferred to ISU, where I then continued and got my bachelor's in psychology. And then I got my master's in student affairs counseling. During my time at ISU, I really got involved in the new student orientation and realized that I just have a passion for working in student affairs. So after graduating from ISU, I saw a posting for this position, actually referred by one of my colleagues that I still work with. There was a position for an admissions counselor, and I applied, and the rest is history. And so I've been working here for almost 3 years. My 3-year anniversary is coming up. So.
Wow.
It's awesome.
We are thrilled that you are here as well, Courtney.
Well, I've got the first question. Well, I guess the second question for Courtney. So, Courtney, your role has shifted recently a lot. Actually, there's nothing that really stays the same at CEI, it seems like. Your role has shifted a lot over the course of the last almost 3 years. So tell us some things that you do for admissions currently, what you have done with admissions and advising in the past, and some of the special projects you've worked on over the years. And then also what kinds of changes are coming and have come in admissions, and what does that look like for the future for you?
All right, so my title here hasn't shifted since being here, but my role has. So my title has always been admissions counselor. When I started at CEI, I was the counselor for trades and business technology. So this involved putting students on wait lists, admitting students to programs, and conducting orientations. And also assisting in the advising and registration process for all of these CTE students. Since then, I switched to being a general education admissions counselor, where I work with general education students as well as registered nursing students and practical nursing students. I also took on, at this time, additional roles such as managing our transfer office and planning transfer-related events, as well as assisting the onboarding for Interstate Passport, which really just makes the transfer process so much easier for our students. Let's see, more recently, admissions and advising has split, and so now we're not one department, we are two. In this switch, I stayed with admissions, and we onboarded recruitment. So now we have Connor on our team. And this allows us to, essentially, our department is very similar to other departments in other schools now. So we admit students, we help all prospective students going out into the community and high schools, working with students to get them prepared for CEI.
You're also the trainer for most of our admissions and advising folks.
Yes, I do a lot of training. I've come up with many training guides.
Nice.
So that's great. I know Justin and Josh leverage your skill set for that a lot, don't they?
Yes. So currently, since the switch or the division is so new, I have been kind of working part-time in the advising office in the afternoons, helping them out because there's a lot of students who still need to get registered and they just don't have enough people. Because believe it or not, the ratio of 2 to 2,000 is not that much. So I'm there assisting the registration process, advising, and all of that in the afternoons, or however long they need me.
That's great.
Yeah. Let's see. So I've had a lot of different opportunities here on campus to participate and kind of do a lot of different events. Some of my favorite have been the transfer events, so our transfer fair that we host every semester. It's been really fantastic. Also, our open house, I really enjoy that one because we get to bring the entire community to campus and show them everything that we have to offer, which is a lot. We have a lot to offer students. And so I think the admissions future is very bright. You know, we've had a lot of setbacks with COVID. You know, we haven't been able to get out into the community as much. Events in person are essentially non-existent. But it's also really been a fantastic catalyst for change, growth, improvement. We've been able to onboard a lot of different processes. And honestly, I think the Zoom and the live and all of that has been a really great addition. It just opens up so many doors, not only for us as professionals, but for students as well. So I foresee us being able to do a lot more with this and for our students. And hopefully we'll get back to some resemblance of normal and we'll be able to see each other face to face. But for now, that's where we're at. But I think admissions, I think we have a bright future ahead.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Courtney. What a great answer.
I think we have a very bright future too. I love it. Okay, Connor, I have the next question. It's for you. So you recently switched roles as well, but have been an active recruiter and admissions officer. Tell us about the transition and what exactly does someone do on a recruiting visit to a high school or when you go to a fair?
So yeah, I did recently transfer into more of the admissions side, but I had been working with the recruitment side before. So it's been nice to now be able to see students all the way from high school or wherever their start with us begins and see them transition all the way to being an accepted student. So that's been a really cool opportunity. When a student when we go on our high school visits, we go and we talk everything about CEI. We tell them Lori's favorite phrase that CEI's future is so bright you got to wear shades.
Yes.
I always have the shades.
Look at that, Connor. I love that.
You got to use it. But what we do is we go and talk to them about everything they need to know about college. We inform them about some of the local schools we work with and the opportunities that they can have here. I think the biggest thing that I see even more so now after COVID is that students are looking to trades programs because, believe it or not, they want to have something hands-on and they want to be able to do a different side of the career. So it's been exciting. But we usually go and talk about CEI and then participate with the other institutions that are attending as well and work together. I would say that was one thing that surprised me is it's a lot of camaraderie in Idaho of all of us working together as admissions counselors and recruiters to just get students into school. So it's a really good working relationship there.
Thank you, Connor. Great answer.
It really is. So this question's for both of you. We'll start with Courtney and then we'll go to Connor. And it's kind of a hard question, so it'll be interesting to hear. So what do you think will be in the crystal ball for admissions or recruiting or both of those ideas in the coming years anywhere in the country or at CEI?
Yeah, so I, with the vaccine now more readily available, I'm hoping again, like we're going to get back to some version of normal and be able to be in person because virtual has been great, but I think we're all a bit exhausted at the moment. And so I think, and maybe, I'm not a psychic, I don't know for sure, but I think the crystal ball is showing a lot, like what Connor said, a lot of camaraderie with different institutions. I feel that developing those relationships with other institutions is going to benefit our students so much more. And this is more on my transfer related role. I've been able to work really closely already with a lot of institutions and develop those relationships. And I think we'll be able to continue that because there are really so many opportunities for students. Right now we have a relationship with Grand Canyon University, and they actually have an awesome thing where if students want to transfer there, you can start that process as soon as you start at CEI. you can start taking classes with them, and the tuition will be at a reduced rate. So you get to save money, you get to take classes that are going to work for both your associates and your bachelor's. It really helps students get a head start. And so I think admissions will be able to kind of go down that route a lot more. And soon it will be something that Connor gets to go out and tell everyone.
That's so awesome. So Courtney, President, he has a very special crystal ball, and his says, just this morning, he said his shows double enrollment. So I'm a little scared. I think we should all be a little scared.
I think he's probably right at some point.
That is a big jump, but I think we're good. So we have a part-time admissions counselor. She just started a couple weeks ago, but I've already seen our numbers increasing.
Yeah.
She's been reaching out to students who have applied but maybe haven't finished their application or haven't submitted everything. She is reaching out to them and they're like, oh yeah, I didn't know I need to send that in. So it's really been helpful. So I think that'll help Rick's crystal ball.
Good. Because that scares me when I hear that's what his crystal ball says.
Well, I think Rick is right. I just think it's going to take a little longer than he thinks it will.
You might
never know.
His is saying not so long. Signs point to sooner rather than later.
Is it a magic 8 ball? Is that crystal ball?
It's a combination. It's a combination.
It might be. All right, Connor, same question.
Well, I would say, I kind of have to agree with Rick a little bit on the positive side. I think I don't know what it will be, if it's going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, but what excites me is when I go out into high schools now, CEI is starting to be on their minds. They're starting to know about us. When I first started in recruitment, it was really a new type of college. They really hadn't thought about it. We'd all known about College of Southern Idaho. That goes back to when I was even in high school. But even then, I had so many misconceptions about community college that it's really awesome to see how it's changing in this area, and especially in Idaho Falls area itself. I would say I think we're going to see increasing numbers for sure. And one of those reasons that I've noticed from students is our technical programs that we have. I think as long as we continue to expand those, we're going to see more students that are interested, because for this area, that type of education really fits in well. We have lots of students that they don't want to go for a traditional style education, but they'd like to find something that can get them into a career. And I would say for welding and diesel mechanics and even machine tool and energy systems, the amazing careers they're able to have now, that's something that's getting students really exciting. I don't know if you both have heard this story, but Lauren MacArthur from our energy systems program, he had 2 recent graduates that they're working for a company called Northrop Grumman that's making rocket boosters that are going to space. And they sent him a video recently about last semester of a young lady who was in our program, and she was announcing the rocket launch.
Yeah.
So just the amazing stories we're able to go and share with high school students, that's getting kids really excited about education, where I felt for a long time, some kids just kind of viewed it as, oh, I have to go and get an education, but I don't really know what I want to do. And now we're able to go and share those stories of you can do something really awesome, and they're getting excited about it. So I'm excited to see these next few years and where we're going.
Yeah, no kidding. Connor, that's such an awesome answer and such a good advertisement for all of our CTE programs, right? Because CTE is growing.
Yeah.
There is a need for those CTE graduates because we're having a lot of people across the nation retire. So we are so glad at CEI that we are able to offer those great programs where our students can go get really great jobs. All right, Courtney, the next question's for you. What advantages do students have coming to a small Idaho community college, and why should they choose CEI?
Yeah, so I wish I had a CEI back on my side of the state. So I lived right on the border of Oregon and Idaho, and we did have a community college. It was great, Treasure Valley Community College, but it was in Oregon, and so I knew that I wanted to go to ISU to continue and finish my degree. So the transfer process was a bit more challenging, but it's what was available. And so now that CEI is here, we really filled such a huge need in this area because there was no community college. There was no other option close by. You would have to go out of state or go to Twin Falls or something. Like there was no other option. So a lot of students had to either commute pretty far to ISU or, move out of their home before, they were ready or wanted to. Because yes, living at home while you're in school, very advantageous, saves a lot of money.
Absolutely.
But yeah, CEI, we are the most affordable in the state. And so not only do students now have another option for school, but we are more financially responsible. So I think about everything that we offer here, we are very community-based and we know the community, we know the population and the students that we are reaching out to. And so our resources are so specific to our students. We have so many resources available. Again, another plug for transfer stuff. I mean, we have a lot of transfer agreements because, if you're going for that bachelor's degree, you can come here, save money, get your associate's degree, and then transfer. That's what I did. And I wish I had some of these resources that our students have because it makes it so much easier. So yeah, just that alone, cost and, everything that we have available to students, and that it's so specific to the needs of this area. I think that's why students should come to CEI. And I think that everyone here is really great. I think we're awesome people. But everyone here on campus, we care about students. We want students to be successful. Our first thought is not a number. Students are not a number to us. We want to make sure that each and every student individually gets what they need from us. So I think that's very unique to CEI.
Thanks, Courtney. I agree. Yeah, I think it's a good team here, and I think we really are super student-centered, and I think there are lots of resources. That's a really, really good way of putting it. Like Connor, sometimes you give tours at CEI. I know we're transitioning those to a new group of individuals pretty soon here, but occasionally it happens still. And so I thought I'd get your opinion. What's your favorite part of the campus to show off and why?
So this is a really hard question to answer because we have, like Courtney's talking about, just such great resources from our nursing simulation lab to the cool like auto shops that we have, a machine tool that makes like really amazing things out of metal. But I'm going to have to go with kind of the cheesy answer, but it's what really sets us apart, in my opinion, from other institutions that I've attended or visited, and that's our faculty. That's honestly what I love to show off on tours, and I try to go to places that at least have faculty members in them. And whether the student is interested in that faculty member's program or not, they get to see the tone that CEI sets and how student-focused they are. And that is probably the best time for those students. And I've gotten a lot of emails back from students that they're just so grateful to have met our faculty and to have had them take the time out of their day to even come over and talk to them for a few minutes on, hey, what are you wanting to pursue? What kind of education are you doing? And then they, the student tells them, oh, I'm wanting to go into welding. Well, that's awesome. You should really talk to our welding faculty. They're awesome. They do this. If you ever get the chance, come check out my program. Come and look at this side. And our faculty are just so engaged and kind to every single tour group that I've ever taken through. That is what sets it apart. And so that's what I have to say is my favorite thing, even though we do have some really awesome labs and rooms that we get to show. Our faculty are what really make the biggest difference. And like Courtney says, it's that student-centered mentality. And I've never seen that at any other institution that I attended as a student or that I've now had the ability to go to. And that's saying something.
Wow.
That's really great. Thank you.
That's an amazing answer, because again, it's not a place, it's the people that you like to show off. Not that, we do have great spaces, especially the nursing. I thought you were going to say nursing sim lab, because that's what most people say. Anyway,
it's amazing.
It is amazing, but I love that you chose people over a place. And it really does kind of speak to what this campus is all about. All right, Courtney, back to you. So can you tell us about the transfer office and what happens there? Why is it an advantage for our students?
Yeah, so this is a very unique resource, I think, that we have. I've been to other community colleges, and I don't see anything like it. We have an office here on campus for advisors from other institutions. Right now, we have the University of Idaho, Idaho State University, and Grand Canyon University weekly. Most of them are Zoom, but they are available to meet with students who are interested in transferring, because it's never too early to start thinking about your next steps. So we have them available just as a general resource, but we also have various institutions. Like this week alone, we have I think it's Utah State University, Boise State University, and next Monday we have Northern Arizona University. They're doing about like an hour little advising session for students who are interested in transferring. So it's a great time to, ask questions about, school costs. What can I expect? How do I start that transfer process? What classes should I take for this program? It's a good idea to start thinking about that really early. Because, I don't know about you, but I don't like taking classes that I'm not really interested in. And so you could be here at CEI, just taking random classes, or you can make it more specific to fit the degree that you want. And that's what our transfer
you want to go to.
Yeah, exactly. Because every institution is going to be a bit different. Especially when you're going like out of state. The education system across state lines is different. Like for example, Oregon is a trimester system. So that's 3 semesters and then a summer semester, whereas Idaho, it's a 2-semester and a summer semester. So it makes a
difference. It does.
And so that's something that not a lot of students, I wasn't aware of that. I had no idea. So it's something that our students can really take advantage of in learning about this stuff early on, so that you can be very prepared. But yeah, that's our transfer office.
Thank
you. We have a transfer calendar, so any events that we have going on, it's on that calendar. So always check it out.
Yeah, and we also try to put up several emails, and Courtney emails student population as well about this information. But we even put it up in our bathroom stalls. Like we've got the info at every possible place we could, and sometimes it even makes it to the marquee sign outside. So for those that are driving by. Well, this next question is for both of you, and we ask this of everybody because it's pretty interesting. So we'll start, since Courtney answered the last question, we'll start with Connor and then we'll go to Courtney. Who inspires you and why?
So my answer goes back to a quote that my mom actually told me. And I don't know if she made this quote up or if she found it somewhere. But when she was going through a really hard time, and I was in, I think, elementary school at the time, she told me, as she was really upset at the moment, she said, happiness is a choice. You remember that as you go through. And I have kept that phrase in my mind all the way through growing up and now in my career. And that's what I would say. My mom inspires me, and that quote inspires me to find my happiness. And I strongly believe that it is a choice. And sometimes it's harder to choose than others. But as I've continued to choose being happy and to be positive and just have that kind of mindset, good things have happened. And so that's something that's really inspired me.
Great. Courtney? Thanks, Connor.
Yeah, so I think my answer is fairly similar to Connor. It's my dad. My dad inspires me. He his work ethic is just unreal. He never does anything less than 100% once he's committed to it. And that's really shown me, what to strive for. So he's such a great father, and that he's always there, always caring, and wants to help. And so I take a lot of that from him. And it's not just about me. I want to be good for myself, but also for others and those around me. I want to, really support other people in their journey. And so he's really taught me a lot of that.
He's an inspiring man. He's come out to student affairs, and he's done a lot over here over the years. He's actually a really great person. So thank you for sharing that. Those are great attributes, and I think it's very important. Both of you have brought up some very important things for people to remember.
For sure. Thank you guys, and really inspiring to hear you guys talk about your parents. That's amazing. All right, so this is also for both of you. If you could tell your younger self how to prepare for college and life, what would you say? And Connor, let's start with you since Courtney answered last.
Okay, this one's another tough one. I would say what I would give as the best piece of advice when I was coming to college for the first time, none of my parents had gone to school, none of my grandparents had gone to school, so it was a very new experience. And I felt worried that I was going to stand out by not understanding how college worked. And so I tried to fake like I knew what I was doing and had this whole elaborate plan, and that ended up being really not what I needed. I still remember my first day. I started at Utah State. I walked into a classroom with 450 other students, and I came from a high school where I graduated with 50 students that I went to school with from kindergarten to 12th grade.
Wow.
So I had no idea what I was doing, but at that point I reached down there. I was on my own. I didn't have anybody I was familiar with, and I was afraid to ask questions. So my biggest piece of advice to anybody going to school is ask questions, find your resources, because there's great people that are out there that want to help you succeed. And luckily, I was able to find some upperclassmen who'd been at Utah State for a while, and they introduced me to tutoring and all sorts of things, and that saved me. Or else I really don't know if I would have been able to finish my college degree. It was definitely an intimidating experience.
That's really good advice.
Yeah, thanks, Connor. Courtney?
So again, kind of similar to Connor, I was a first generation student. None of my parents or extended family had been to college. So unlike Connor, I knew exactly what I was doing. Just kidding. That's
of course.
I was sort of on my own. I faked it until I made it. I just sort of did things, my own way on my own, just trying to figure it out. And so what I would tell my younger self is really just get involved with campus early on. Yeah. Like if college scares you, the best thing you can do is get involved with this terrifying thing ahead of you, because then you'll realize it's not that terrifying. It wasn't until I got to ISU when I started becoming more involved, and I was like, wow, this is great. Everyone here is awesome. Because, at my community college, I felt like I was just on my own, no one was there to help me. And it's because I didn't take that step to become involved. And if I had, my experience would have been so much different. And I had a great experience, don't get me wrong. It was just, if I'd gotten involved earlier, like, who knows? Like, getting involved at ISU is what changed my career path. So you never know what getting involved on a campus can do for you.
Courtney, that is so, like, everything you're saying is such a familiar story to me because of what you're saying. Like, especially the people who get involved in our profession, like it's because of student involvement. John has a comment from YouTube that I think is really cool for you guys. I'm so fortunate to know the both of you, and I am thrilled that you represent CEI. Perfect people to represent the heart of this institution. What a wonderful comment. Thank you, John.
One of those amazing faculty we spoke about.
That's right.
That's true. We need to have John on the show again pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got our last question as we're getting ready to wind down. Courtney answered the last one, so we'll have Connor start again. What parting words of wisdom do you have for our students? So anything that you haven't already imparted upon them.
I would say one of the biggest pieces of advice, or one of the biggest things I hear from students all the time, is that they tell me, I'm just not cut out for school, or school isn't going to be something for me, or there's no way I could possibly do this. And what I hope to get into anybody that watches this and every high schooler I talk to's mind is, yes, you can. Stop telling yourself that you can't. You can do this. And there's great people around here at CEI or at the other institutions you may go to that are there to help you and to see you succeed. Faculty members, they care about their students. They care about the individuals that they're sending out to the career. And I would give every student the advice of, try out something. Don't be afraid of failing. Don't be afraid of trying something new and going for a completely different career path. I've had the opportunity to see some really great students that came from, all sorts of backgrounds, and they've succeeded. And the biggest difference that you can make as a student is starting to believe in yourself, because I can tell you this, your faculty members believe in you. In the admissions office, we believe in you. And everybody that you will run in here, we will help you if you come and ask us. And we're happy to find those resources for you and to introduce you to some great people that we have. One of my last things that I'll say is Center for New Directions is something I had no idea existed until I came here to College of Eastern Idaho. And it's such an amazing resource. And so I try to make sure on every student I give a tour, I go and introduce them to those fine people over there, because that's a perfect example of a group of individuals that's here to support you and that believe in you and know that you can achieve whatever you want to. So please don't take the long path and start to believe in yourself all the way down the road. Start believing in yourself now. And even if you have to fake it till you make it, start the journey. And we have great people around you, and you can find other great friends and family that will continue to support you and who believe in you. And we would just love to be a part of your journey on that.
Thanks, Connor. Courtney, same question. Parting words of wisdom for students.
Yeah, so I talk to a lot of students, and one thing most of them say is, hey, sorry to bother you. My first response is no bother at all. Please ask your questions. I am here to help you. That is why I am here. I also get a lot of, sorry, this is probably a stupid question. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not really. Like, there's no such thing as a stupid question. It's because not everyone has the same background, the same experience, the same, life experiences. I'm one of those people, I think, oh, I know this, so everyone else should know this. I have to work so hard to remind myself, no, like, you've had a very different life than, Connor or Mike or Lori. So what I know is different from what they know. And that's something that all students should know. Like, just because you don't have an answer to everything doesn't mean you're not smart, you're not worthy, you're not capable. It just means you need to learn. And that's why we're here. We want to help students learn. Let's see. Everyone here on campus, we don't know everything. We don't claim to know everything. Everyone here, you can ask them, like, tell me a failure, and they'll be like, can I tell you 10? Because we all admit to our mistakes. Because we all have done it. Everyone has done that. And so for students to know, like, we're not these all-knowing, like, powerful beings. Like, that's crazy. We are normal people who have been where you have been, who at one point we've said, sorry, this is a stupid question, or sorry to bother you. Just know that your questions are not stupid and you are not bothering us because we want to help you. We want you to be successful.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Courtney.
Yeah.
So Courtney and Connor reminded me of a couple things that I want to say real quick to our students. First of all, you can see if you have any questions, you can always pop in. We are available and have been for a very long time, face-to-face in Student Affairs in room 311. But general CEI questions, you can also get addressed virtually or on the phone. So the number is there on the screen, and then the student.concern@cei.edu email, that's for any concern from a student, faculty, staff member, community member, whatever, any kind of student concern. You can send an email to that and it'll get to us and we'll get it to the right people. So, and then also, we're all so different here. So if you're different, it's okay. This campus is welcoming to every possible student. And we want you to know, whatever station you're at in life, you are welcome as a student here at College of Eastern Idaho. Your friends are welcome here. And there's lots of different people that you can connect with here and that we can help you find the resources, including faculty, staff, other students, administration, and so forth. So thank you. Those were really great pieces of advice. And thank you so much for being on our show today, Courtney and Connor, for this. Lori, do you have anything else you want to add?
I would just like to say thank you as well. Thank you for, I just think that everything you guys said today is so spot on and so welcoming for our students. And everything you said was about the students and the faculty, which is amazing. And that's what we are about. We are focused on the student. So if you're contemplating coming here and it just feels too scary, just take that step, pick up the phone, come in the office. Somebody will be here to walk you through everything you need to be able to get into classes, and then also give you some supporting resources. So again, Courtney and Connor, you're amazing. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And so the last thing I'll say, which I always forget to say, but I'm not going to forget today, is a thank you to Shelley Campbell for helping us behind the scenes.
Yes.
And welcome to all of you who are considering College of Eastern Idaho. Please, it's a great place. And we hope students, current students that are watching in and tuning in, faculty, staff, and administration, we hope you have a great week. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks, everyone. Bye. Have a good week. Be safe.